9:45 on this Friday morning, and a group of amateur open water swimmers from Godalming are aiming to raise £40,000 for their former teammate Greg McKenna with an English Channel relay challenge in just a few weeks. Helen Jenkins is one of the swimmers and joins us now. Helen, morning.
Good morning, Peter.
Thanks for joining. So tell us about Greg and what happened to him on, it was Good Friday this year, wasn't it? And the consequences.
It was Good Friday. Greg, he's a great lad, 35 years old, local chap, as you've mentioned. He's lived in Godalming all his life. He's a very sporty guy, big swimmer and big mountain biker, and he had a life-changing mountain bike accident on Good Friday that has left him paralysed from the chest down.
Which it's just a devastating thing, obviously. Just tell us a little bit more about Greg and where he's been and what's happened since then.
Well, he was in intensive care for a few weeks in London, and he was transferred to rehabilitation up in North London, where he still is. Obviously, it's very early days in his recovery. A couple of us went to visit him a few weeks ago, and he's making great progress, but obviously life-changing. He's got to get used to a new life. He's incredibly strong mentally. He's got an incredible sense of humour, and that's something he hasn't lost. But we're all rooting for him, and early days in his recovery. He's also newly married. He was married less than a year ago at the time of the accident. So, very tough for a newly married couple and for him to get used to what will become his new life.
Now, so obviously you and your group of colleagues are getting together. You're going to do something for Greg. Now, you open water swimmers, you are a bunch, aren't you? Because this relay English Channel. Just tell us about the challenge, Helen, because it's really quite a thing, this.
It is, and we're all, as you say, we're all pool swimmers. We swim for Godalming Masters, and we were inspired a couple of years ago by a Channel swimmer. So lockdown obviously hasn't helped with the pools being closed. So last year we started swimming in the Thames. In June this year, we've been in April in 9-degree water, and under the guidance of our coach Sissy Gasson, who runs Surrey Open Water, we've been practicing really swimming in the cold water, so that as the channel gets warmer, we're ready for it.
Yeah, I was swimming in the Solent last weekend. And yeah. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. This year, there's been a crispness about the sea and there's always that thing where you get in and you go, "I'll tell you, it'll feel better soon." That's not happened to me. So how on earth you've been doing this whole 9-degree thing? I mean, my word. Anyway, tell me about the relay. How's it going to work? What's going to happen? Who sets off and all the rest of it?
Well, we haven't worked out the order yet because we're still training really hard. But basically, what happens is you set off from Dover, one of the beaches, Shakespeare Beach or Samfire Hoe. There's 5 of us swimming, so one person sets off. They swim for an hour. The next person gets in, and they swim for an hour, and you keep going until you get to France, basically. So. We're hoping we should each have two to three swims. It's about 14 to 16 hours across, 21 miles, the equivalent of 21 land miles. So it's no mean feat, but we're ready. We've trained really hard. It's a brilliant team, and we're excited to get going now.
Well, I mean, we wish you all the best, and I'm sure, Greg's just so chuffed that you're going to be doing this as well. How can people find out more about it, Helen?
So we've set up a crowdfunding page on Just Giving. As you mentioned, we're hoping to raise £40,000. Any contribution that anyone can make would be much appreciated to help Greg in his new life. So it's Just Giving, and if you search for Channel for Greg or our team name, which is S6&D2, Sissy 6 and D2, there's 6 of us. Greg is very much part of our team, very much in our thoughts, and anything that anyone can do to donate on Just Giving would be much appreciated.
So Channel for Greg for searching on Just Giving, but I think there's a social media hashtag as well. Is that hashtag Swim for Greg as well, if people want to have a...
Hashtag Swim for Greg. Yeah. We're all over Facebook, Surrey Open Water, Instagram. So various places people can find us.
Well, Helen, to you and your team, we wish you the best of luck as you prepare. Obviously, we'd like to hear how it all goes and all the rest of it. So all the best to you, and, of course, send all our best to Greg as well.
Will do. Thank you so much.
There we go. All the very best to them. So hashtag Swim for Greg on social media. You'll come across everything you need to know about that. Thank you to Helen for joining us this morning on BBC Radio Surrey at 9 minutes to 10 now. It's Galantis, David Guetta, Little Mix on BBC Surrey Breakfast.